to take on El Salvador. We're in Guatemala City, Guatemala, at the Estadio Cementos Progreso. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, happy to have you back here with us. About to have 3 games kick off simultaneously to finish today's action around the groups. It is 67 degrees here in Guatemala City tonight. Really impressive from the Reggae Boys in our first game. They win by 9 goals over the Cayman Islands, eliminating them from contention. In Jamaica, as it stands, you look at the group there, they have the inside track at that top spot and progression to the Under-17 FIFA Men's World Cup. But El Salvador have a chance to respond here in their second game of the tournament. They'll need a win and potentially an opportunity to make up some of the goals in the goal differential category. We're going to be keeping a close eye on that again, because whoever has the better goal differential will have a number of avenues on that final match day for which to progress as the Group H winners. The other big storyline for this game, St. Lucia have to win it if they're going to stay alive. A draw wouldn't be enough, and obviously a loss would see them fall short. So a little bit of added pressure on them, knowing that only a victory keeps them afloat going into the final match day in the group this weekend. Both teams look ready to head on out for the procession, so we will step aside for just a moment. After the procession, we will have anthems, followed by lineups, and then the kickoff in this big game here in Group H between St. Lucia and El Salvador. It's all coming right up.
Damas y caballeros, les pedimos ponerse de pie para el himno nacional de Santa Lucía. A continuación, el himno nacional de El Salvador.
Well, that concludes a great rendition of both countries' national anthems, and the two teams exchange a word or two as they greet each other before a very important match, it must be said, at the Concacaf men's Under-17 qualifiers in Group H. Again, Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, final game of the day, along with two others about to kick off simultaneously as well. And let's jump right into the starting lineups for both teams. And we begin with Marco Marsucci and the St. Lucia starting 11. Thierry Moril captains the side in the midfield. Kai Russell, Keenan Joseph, Siobhan Bryan, other players to watch in the middle of the park. Malik Louis is the head of that defensive unit. And Adi Derme is in goal. Jorge Ojeda of Nicaragua leads our four-man officiating crew. And their word, of course, will be final. El Salvador are captained by Rafael Hinojosa. Both number 8s, who are both the captains, fittingly enough, participate in a coin toss that did end up hitting the ground in the end after a very interesting journey. And it's El Salvador, of course, who will hope to replicate what was a very, very impressive matchday 1 performance against the Cayman Islands, as they were 8-0 winners. That run of 8 theme there ends as we jump into the starting 11 for El Salvador. Juan Serrano is the head coach. And Hinojosa will be a big key in the heart of that midfield with Karen Torres and Isaac Gomez on either side of him. But Ovidio Hernandez and, of course, Luis Tobar will be the keys up top as well for an El Salvador side that really had a multitude of different goal scorers on match day 1. They had 6 unique goal scorers. In fact, Tobar had a brace, and Hinojosa also had 2 goals in an 8-goal put-out. Again, as far as the stakes here, it's simple. St. Lucia have to win. Nothing else will do for them, or they're eliminated from contention for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. For El Salvador, if they want to have the inside track at the first place spot, they're going to have to win, and they're going to have to make up the difference in goal differential, as Jamaica are on 6 points ahead of them, and their goal differential vastly improved today from +2 to +11. So, you do the math, El Salvador need at least 3 goals to be top of the table at the end of the night. Again, this game kicks off with 2 others, Bonaire and Honduras about to kick off, and the U.S. about to kick off against St. Kitts and Nevis. One other game going on as well as we speak. We'll give you an update on it in just a few moments. That's being played between Panama and Aruba. El Salvador are in all blue from head to toe. They'll kick us off going from right to left, and we're underway. St. Lucia are in yellow with the white shorts and socks, and this all-important finale on match day 2 in Group H is underway. Again, St. Lucia, of course, lost by 3-1 to Jamaica on match day 1. They'll hope to bounce back and win. And if they don't, of course, that will end any hope for them of advancing. The only thing we do know in the group that is a certainty is that the Cayman Islands are out. Their loss earlier today eliminates them from contention. And St. Lucia certainly do not want to follow in their footsteps. They want to win and give themselves a chance on the final day to potentially come all the way back and win this group. Marco Masucci looking on, and Juan Serrano as well for El Salvador. Both coaches will hope to get off to a very, very fast start. There's Coach Serrano there. And trust me, Penny looks good on him, but he is not a substitute. And from the throw, El Salvador do dig out a cross here, and it was up for grabs. And then it's speared towards goal, where Guilherme is able to make the stop. Pretty good strike by Isaac Gomez. But the goalkeeper gets down and makes the stop. Good early play there from El Salvador inside the first 2 minutes. A nice run forward by Karen Torres. Torres was also very important to the cause for El Salvador on match day 1. Tobar, Hinojosa, Perla, Torres, Galdames, and Ramirez, all on the score sheet. The latter two were substitutes coming on and getting some late goals in the second half to cap off what was a very comprehensive El Salvadorian performance. And they're in behind here. Chance for the opening goal. It's a swing and a miss. And then on the layoff, it's looped over the top. Was there a deflection on it? No, the referee says it is a goal kick. Hinojosa, the captain, had the second opportunity here. This was the chance from earlier, the long distance shot from Gomez. Went through traffic. And then here, Hinojosa, it fell kindly for him, good little layoff. But the captain skied it in the end, out of play. Ooh, good step defensively there. Torres picks off the pass. Had trouble getting the ball along with him there, but it ricochets out to this far side. First time ball into the middle. It's a diving header, a brave header, but a header that ends up rolling out. One of those where El Salvador were in some ways chasing a lost cause after a mediocre cross, but nearly turned it into an opportunity. Again, we'll be keeping you up to date on how the other games are going. At the moment, we actually have 2 goal-scoring updates to tell you about. The game between Aruba and Panama is at halftime. The Canalmen will just keep on surging in these qualifiers. They've got a 3-0 halftime lead. Oh, and that was a very difficult shot for Cornejo, the goalkeeper, to save, but save it he did. Peter Cornejo had to be very careful here. This had a lot of venom on it. It was whipping and dipping from left to right. The El Salvadorian goalkeeper makes a big early save. And St. Lucia have a corner. Remember, they gave Jamaica quite the test on match day 1. For those thinking this is just going to be a walkover, you're going to be sorely mistaken on that point. After the corner, we'll go back to the updates. There's other things to tell you about from the other games, but more importantly, St. Lucia have this set piece. And in the end, they keep it via a throw. First time ball in. Ooh, it was a high boot on a side-winding scissor kick. In the end, Emerson Guardado is the one who got the worst of that. He's saying he's okay. Little surprised the referee did not go to his pocket here. This was nowhere near the ball. And it was a very, very high challenge. Well, Siobhan Byron, very fortunate there not to see the yellow card come out. Did not time that up well at all. Well, the U.S. and St. Kitts and Nevis, 5 minutes in, no goals yet there. A little bit of a surprise considering how much the U.S. scored in the first game. That shot takes a ricochet. Torres blocked. It's end-to-end here in Guatemala City. Torres cutting in field, and ooh, that came off a hand, I will say. Great look by our crew there on the cameras, but to be fair, I don't think the defender had enough time to react. I think that's why the referee allowed play to continue. Remember, there's no VAR. Certainly VAR would have checked that if we had it. And to be fair, based on how quickly it happened and on how little time the defender had to react, I think it ends up being a fair outcome. Another cross, another block, and a corner for El Salvador on the far side. The one goal to tell you about from the other game kicking off simultaneously, Honduras have scored. They lead Bonaire by 1-0. If Honduras wins, it's going to set up a winner-take-all game on Saturday against Puerto Rico. Another game, of course, that we'll have coverage for you. From the corner, a flared-in cross, but St. Lucia have it covered. And it was a little bit of a loose touch, and the ball ends up being traveled out of play. Did come back in, but the ball did leave the field of play first. Goes back to El Salvador on the near side. Perla, who got involved in the goal scoring last time out. Helping to lock down things defensively for a team in El Salvador who, of course, haven't conceded a goal yet in this tournament. Still early stages here, of course, in just the second game, but they want to keep that going, and they'll want to keep the goal scoring going as well. And it was an acrobatic attempt. Luis Tobar, who scored twice against the Cayman Islands, almost scored. A really intuitive flick there. A little bit of ingenuity in his attempt. Good stop by Guerme. From the corner, Torres blocked. And Torres push at the end there, but it's going to be a throw-in. Reyes. That was a decent ball in. St. Lucia do clear it in the end. Quickly recycled. Lovely interplay. Little cutback as well, but no cross into the middle. And again, St. Lucia emerged with possession, but can they keep it? The answer is no. Another win back here by Espinoza. And the ball's going to roll through here. Torres with the layoff, and the shot is scuffed in the end. And Adi Guerme is there to corral it. Ovidio Hernandez unleashing the attempt. Torres actually was trying to find space for himself, but it fell kindly for Hernandez. Just didn't quite have enough venom in the shot. Is there a nudge in the back there? Referee plays on. And then the ball out to the far side has too much on it. Right idea by Byron, but could not pick out a teammate, and well, the attack ends there for St. Lucia, and there's a player down for El Salvador, away from the play. Ooh, there actually might have been a handball in there. Perla took a big swipe at it. Not sure he meant to do that. Referee again, just let it go. I think either didn't see it or played advantage. And it happened so quickly. We didn't see it live, to be fair. Again, it's something the referees don't have. There's no VAR, so they don't get the luxury of those instant replays that you and I get to see. Gotta give the referees the benefit of the doubt in those situations. Another goal has gone in the Honduras match. La Ache have doubled their lead. It's 2-0. Honduras leading over Bonaire. Ten minutes gone, by the way. U.S. and St. Kitts and Nevis, no goals have gone in. That might be even a bit of a shock in itself, considering how much the U.S. scored for fun on match day 1. Already had a lot of results go final from earlier in the day. Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, and Cuba, all winners. I have to give a bit of a tip of the cap, though, to the U.S. Virgin Islands. They were the ones that took the thrashing from the U.S. They did score 3 goals against a good Cuba side. They're going to have a real chance of progressing if they can beat the U.S. on the final match day. They really bounced back. However, they were not able to get the points. They are eliminated, but they really put up a heck of a fight. Got to give them a lot of credit for their resolve and their ability to keep on fighting and bounce back. We are getting to the point where groups are thinning out a bit. Some teams in multiple groups have already been eliminated, unfortunately, and it's becoming either a 2-horse race or 3-horse races. Coming into the final few days of the qualifiers. This is Reyes, and Reyes sends it onto the track. Just to give you an example, Group A, already very interesting, I should say. Canada and Curacao are the 2 teams leading the group. Bermuda still alive in that group as well. Turks and Caicos, who actually won a game in this qualifiers, along with Anguilla, are both out. Costa Rica, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, a 3-horse race in Group B. Mexico, Nicaragua, and Barbados all still alive in Group C. How about Barbados bouncing back after a tough start to the qualifiers themselves? They got a huge win the other day to hang around, so they're not done yet. And again, Honduras has a chance to eliminate Bonaire in the game we've been giving you updates on. That's in Group D. Puerto Rico ready to go for Saturday at winner take all. Haiti and Guatemala in control right now in Group E, but there's only been 1 match played across the board. Long distance shot here, bounces in, and Cornejo collects. And again, Cuba and the U.S. likely set up for a showdown, as long as the U.S. takes care of business tonight. In Group G, Panama wins. They'll be top of the group, and then that'll set up a big game with them and the Dominican Republic coming up as well to decide that group in Group G. Meanwhile here, oh, it's a big ricochet. And the ball ends up trickling into the back of the net. And El Salvador take the lead through Luis Tobar, who scores his 3rd goal of the tournament. It's such a slice of luck for El Salvador, and it's so cruel on St. Lucia. Well, Tobar gets the space. It's not the best of strikes, but it takes a gigantic deflection. And the goalkeeper, Guerme, had already committed, and he was not able to get back in time. So unlucky, the goalkeeper there. Tobar's ball, it comes off a defender, to be more precise, who tried to clear it. And off the inadvertent ricochet, It ends up in the back of the net, and El Salvador take the lead. Talk about a slice of good fortune. Or bad fortune, if you support St. Lucia. And Luis Tobar just continues to be a goal-scoring outlet for this El Salvador side. El Salvador have edged it, there's no question, in these opening 17 minutes, but that was a bit of bad fortune for St. Lucia. It was meant to be a clearance, ends up being a ricochet, and you feel in particular for A.D. Guerme, he had it covered, but then had to go back to his left, and well, the momentum had already carried him in the opposite direction, and by that point, it was too late. Good attempt to feed that through by Hernandez. It's cleared away. Well, again, another reason why that's such a tough blow is that St. Lucia now have to score at least 2 goals. Remember, they have to win this game. Anything else, and St. Lucia will be eliminated from progressing to the World Cup, the FIFA Under-17 level. Quick throw in by Louis. And to the byline, a chance to cross this into the middle. Oh, and Cornejo didn't get there. But it's headed wide. St. Lucia asking 1 or 2 questions about a possible penalty. And Justice Germain was on the end of this cross. But it wasn't far away. Wow, he did really well to get on the end of that. After the goalkeeper missed it. Very close to St. Lucia, creating a chance there to equalize in very quick succession. And a free kick there will go St. Lucia's way. Another look there. This is the challenge from Torres. Maybe got more of the ball than meets the eye initially there, but the decision goes St. Lucia's way this time. Oh, we've got an update from the U.S. St. Kitts and Nevis game. Took the U.S. a little bit longer this time to get on the board, but get on the board they did. They've scored twice since we last gave you an update. Last one from Cristiano Santos. And the U.S. have a 2-0 lead for the Sugar Boys. They're around the same time in the game that we're at, so are Bonaire and Honduras. El Salvador have the lead here, thanks to Luis Tobar, their leading goal scorer. Off a wicked ricochet, it must be said, though. But El Salvador, you think they'll care too much about that? The answer is no. Is a giveaway. Tobar was tripped up, and it's a free kick. There actually might have been 2 trips in there. The referee gives the foul for the first one. And El Salvador are in range for a promising set piece. You saw the reaction. Thierry Moril, he thought the call was on his tackle. It was not. It was on the first challenge that saw Tobar hit the deck. El Salvador's search for what could be a very important second goal here to distance themselves a bit from St. Lucia. Well, from the free kick. Whoa, it was a laser beam. But it flies over the top off the boot of Jefferson Perla, who did score on match day 1. You can see why. He's got great technique. But that time it flew out of play. Well, a couple of heavy challenges there. Almost a dog pile. Well, Torres ends up getting fouled. Goes back to El Salvador, and well, I must say that was another challenge. Kai Russell looked like he won the ball there. Referee disagrees. That ball played through, he's cut out. St. Lucia have a chance to move it ahead here. Early ball into the penalty area. Gonna bounce into Cornejo's hands. That's kept in on the far side. It was a good attempt. And the ball played forward is being fought for here. Oh, and it looks like a penalty's been given here, is it? Oh, no, I think it's a goal kick. Well, the reason I said that was because you could hear the reaction from the St. Lucia bench. Ooh, it was close to being in or out. It's also close on the contact. The referee blew the whistle and pointed. And that's why I think St. Lucia, and briefly myself, thought there may have been a penalty there. You could hear the celebrations from the St. Lucia bench. And the referee said, no, 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 it's a goal kick. One or two confused players out there. I think it was the blowing of the whistle that really confused everybody. And Cornejo called upon here to clear it. Well, unfortunately for St. Lucia, that did not go their way, but they get another chance here on a lovely cutback. And the setup chance is flashed wide of the target. Great attempt from Kai Russell, but he drags the shot wide after some wonderful build-up play from Justice Germain. And then Russell, good attempt, but it's flashed wide of the post. Couple of warning signs there for El Salvador and some good moments to build on from a St. Lucia standpoint. It's going to bounce out of play. It ends up being a goal kick after the dust settles. Good surge there. A couple of good attempts from St. Lucia. They're going to need more. Obviously, they have to score at least twice without rebuttal. They're going to stay alive. Lovely back heel there. Reyes. It was played down the line. Still up for grabs here. Another little flip to get Reyes back on it. Reyes with the cross. It's going to come up short. And St. Lucia clear it, but not definitively. And it's volleyed over the top. The second time that Gomez has tried to score a spectacular goal. Not to be on that occasion. Well, we've got another goal update. The U.S. have scored again. This time it's Tanner Rossborough, who's made it 3-0 for the Stars and Stripes, who are starting to pull away against St. Kitts and Nevis. El Salvador with a chance here, but again, St. Lucia plugging the holes defensively. They're able to handle it this time. St. Lucia have a set piece, chance to maybe pick somebody out. In by Duveau. This had it clear. El Salvador have a chance to maybe move it the other way, but Duveau actually gets the ball back. Little return to sender moment. Russell down the line, but the offside flag is up. And that will end the sequence for Marco Masucci's group. Ball's gonna float over the top. Germay, he's been on it so far, able to easily collect. El Salvador, if they're gonna catch Jamaica tonight, they're currently in the live table, 6 points, and they're on a +9 goal differential. They'd have to score 3 more without reply if they're going to eclipse the Reggae Boys at the top of the table. But St. Lucia have other ideas here, and another close call. Just skims over the top, and Kai Russell wonders what could have been. El Salvador have had a tough time stopping Kai Russell. Another good shot, just off target. And you could feel St. Lucia growing more and more into the game as the minutes go by. Reyes loses the ball, and it's an early ball played in behind, too early in fact. And Cornejo was well prepared. Another ball's gonna bounce in behind up the other end. But again, very calm and collected defending from St. Lucia. They handle it perfectly. El Salvador will get a throw in. Guardado out to the far side. And a challenge comes in. Referee had a long look at it. Goal kick is the decision. Well, that was Duveau once again, and he got it spot on, it looks like. Although, again, that angle, it looked a little bit closer to being a foul. Well, the referee judged that he got something on the ball. I have to say, Duveau had to be careful there. It was on the edge of the penalty area. Ball's kept in play by Morrill. You hear more encouragement coming from the St. Lucia bench. They like what they're seeing here. The final ball there needed to be a little bit more accurate. Oh, lovely reverse ball there. El Salvador doing everything they can to push St. Lucia back, but they give away a free kick. Look there, the challenge came in from Perla on Byron. We've seen many players try to take on some of these shots from quite some distance, but Duveau, you would think, would be better off just trying to clip it in there and finding a teammate. We'll see what he decides to do here. He does try to pick somebody out. This headed towards the outskirts of the penalty area. And St. Lucia keep it in play until the very end. And it's a goal kick. Guardado has to reset another El Salvador attack here. Coming down on the final 12 minutes of the half. Chance to maybe cross this into the middle. The angle was against him, and well, the assistant referee initially gave a corner here, but then waved the flag and wiggled it high into the air after that, which would indicate that there was a foul on the back end after the ball was released. The referee did not point one way or the other. Let's see, was this a foul? Oh, there was a little bit of a push afterwards, not a ton of contact, but the assistant referee's wiggle, I'm glad we spotted that, does indicate, and it is going to be a free kick. Hinojosa will take essentially a short corner here. El Salvador hoping to give themselves a little bit more breathing space here for the end of the half. From the free kick. Nice strong header away. Only as far as Gomez, who again went for the spectacular, but smashes it out of play. He's a little frustrated after another miscued hit. That's a really good throw-in. A chance for El Salvador to pick somebody out. It's not dealt with yet. Tobar. He shepherded out of play. Really well recovered. On the near side, Malik Louis dealing with it and putting out the fire. It's a goal kick. All the scores still the same. Games going on elsewhere. Panama getting closer and closer to a result that would knock out Aruba in that group. It would set up a showdown with the Dominican Republic the final day in the group. Ball deep into the corner here. St. Lucia will settle for a throw. El Salvador trying to make sure that no service goes into the penalty area, and St. Lucia unlock this back line. Another cross is blocked and cleared. Ball is flared back towards the penalty area. Goalkeeper commits, but the flag goes up. Well, Doroteo was in a very difficult spot there and was collided into. That ends up bailing El Salvador out a bit there, but they get the decision. Hinojosa. Tobar. A layoff inadvertently there, and the shot again is blocked. And Torres fighting for it. Reyes can't get there. The cheeky little back heel is cut out, and a chance to move it forward with Gomez. But Gomez's pass is cleared away. You start to wonder where we would be right now if Tobar hadn't have scored with such a fortunate ricochet. A slice of luck is the reason El Salvador are ahead. It would be a very different game right now if that moment hadn't happened. But it has. That's the truth of the matter. And El Salvador, for now, enjoy a slim advantage. But I must say, in the last 15, 20 minutes or so, I could argue St. Lucia have created the more quality opportunities, or at least have gained more than a foothold in this game. They have been very even since that Tobar goal. Sliding challenge there, plating it centrally, and then Gomez picks up the pieces. Has teammates available. Hinojosa, near side, Torres. Reyes, first time ball in, headed away. And then a coming together. Referee will bring this back. Is it because of a possible head injury or because it's a free kick? I'll have to wait and see on that. Ooh, Russell was taken out there. It's going to be a drop ball, and it's going to allow St. Lucia to get possession back. It's as good as a free kick, at least at this end of the field. Flag is up against Tobar. Another promising bit of build-up there, fizzles out for El Salvador. Another look. So we didn't get to see the line there. Oh, and there was a little bit of it coming together. Hernandez throwing a player off of him. I wonder if that had a little bit to do with it, but it was all a moot point. The flag went up pretty quickly. And then a follow-through challenge there. It's a free kick for El Salvador. Another look, bit of a clumsy challenge there from Moril, the captain. Actually, beg your pardon, it was Tashawn Walter Was Moril with the ball in behind. About 3.5 minutes plus stoppage time left in the half. Very even. Vast majority of the first stanza here. Again, it's a game that St. Lucia cannot drop any points. Have to win it, or they are eliminated. They've made a good account of themselves so far, but still in need of that elusive goal. Of course, that would just be the beginning. They need more than that to have a shot at it. Ball's up for grabs in the penalty area. Bounced a couple of times. That could be dangerous. In the 18-yard box, nothing comes of it. It's a push and a chase from Tobar, but too much push, not enough chase. It's out for a throw. Guardado for Perla. Perla scoops it over the top. Again, it's well covered. Hosa and Gomez trying to win it back. But St. Lucia keep it for now. And they could move it along here down this far side. Oh, they do move it down here. Cross into the middle is a little too tall for everybody. Cleared away by Torres, but not definitively. And St. Lucia are going to get a free kick. Not the look. Really good half, by the way, by Kai Russell. He's been wonderful. And at the heart of all the major St. Lucia opportunities, and he helps his side by winning a free kick here. Now the captain, Thierry Moril, will he have a go here? Sometimes you can just tell by the way a player stands over it what's going to happen. There's players queuing up, but Moril wants to have a go. You could just tell by the way he was standing over that. And he lets it fly, but on it flew. 2 added minutes before we get to halftime. The defenses have really clamped down. I think that's fair to say. We've gotten through the last about 25, 30 minutes. There haven't been a ton of clear-cut chances, and almost feels like both teams need halftime a little bit to reevaluate the final third decision-making a bit more. We've seen players on both sides opt for low percentage opportunities here, more than not. And it's dropped the quality of the chances. I think that's fair to say. But give credit, both defenses, St. Lucia's in particular, have stepped up in a game where they have to do this. They have to do so. And of course, they have to win. So, got to give them credit for bringing the fight to El Salvador here. And as it was thrown in, the referee is not happy with something he saw there. He wants to make sure no elbows are thrown and everyone looks out for those around them. It's clipped up ahead by Gomez. Well, in the end, it's a goal kick. Beg your pardon, a throw-in on the near side. Thrown in by Reyes. And that's the end of the half. Oh, 1-0 is the score. El Salvador got a fortuitous ricochet. Put them out in front. Luis Tobar getting credited with the goal off the deflection. That was all the way back in the 16th minute. Since then, there have been chances for both sides, and make no mistake about that. But the defenses have shored things up. It has been quite the stalemate since that opening goal went in. But El Salvador have the advantage, and for now, they would set up a final day showdown with Jamaica to see who goes to the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. But there's still a big 45 minutes to go. St. Lucia have to come back and win, and El Salvador will hope to improve on their advantage. We'll have highlights from the first half in just a moment, but for now we take a quick break as it is at the half in Guatemala City, St. Lucia 0, El Salvador 1. Welcome back, everybody. Sean St. Jacques back here with you. About to get the second half started, and we have a substitution to tell you about. Hernandez is going to be taken out here for El Salvador, and he will be replaced by Brandon Ramirez. First change of the game for either side. And as St. Lucia begin the second half, the men in yellow remain unchanged. So it's the same 11 for St. Lucia. That one alternation. Ovidio Hernandez is out, and Brandon Ramirez is in there. Again, El Salvador leading by the 1-0. If it stands, they'll be second in the group, but Jamaica would have that tiebreaker ahead of them. That could come into play on the final match day in the group coming up this weekend. Again, that'll decide a place, potentially, into the Under-17 FIFA World Cup, which everyone's trying to get at the end of all of this. 35 teams have entered this, and only 8 will make it. Scores from the other games at the moment. 3-0 Honduras at the half against Bonaire. They're about to get the second half started. 3-0 Panama, about to eliminate Aruba and set up a showdown this weekend. The DR and a chance to go through to the Under-17 World Cup. And then the U.S. got another before halftime. They're 4-0 up against St. Kitts and Nevis. And if they win, they'll set up a final match day showdown with Cuba, 2 former winners of the Concacaf Men's Under-17 Championship. The winner would advance as the group winners. Similar deal here with El Salvador. If they hold on, they will set up a Saturday showdown with Jamaica, and the winner will clinch a berth into the FIFA Men's Under-17 World Cup as the Group H winners. Remember, only the group winners advance. There's no second place teams that can clinch a bid. We were talking a little bit earlier in the first half about how, yes, there's been some teams that have been eliminated, but no one has clinched a first place spot yet. All the groups still have a lot to figure out going into the final few days here. And again, sort of hinted at this earlier, but there's still a huge slate of games tomorrow as you look at the last challenge there, involving Jose Gutierrez. All have a gigantic impact on who has the inside track at first place in the groups. Nicaragua, for example, playing Dominica. Canada against Curacao, and the big game, Barbados against Mexico. Barbados have a chance to do a big number there if they could beat Mexico and really toss that group up in the air, really. St. Martin against Trinidad and Tobago, Antigua and Barbuda against Haiti, Turks and Caicos against Bermuda, and then a couple of big ones in the nightcap. Guyana against Costa Rica, and then Guatemala against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All of that coming up tomorrow night. Well, that's going to be played through. Chance for Byron. And Byron cuts it back, and the shot is blocked. Cornejo is able to get there. More promising play in the attacking third from St. Lucia. Only that end product eludes them. Great cutback here. Byron does well. And then on the layoff, big block in there by Gomez. Isaac Gomez with a critical intervention there to keep the slim advantage intact for El Salvador. 5 minutes into the start of the second half. Here comes El Salvador with a chance to make something of it here. Ooh, challenge comes in. And I think the referee's given a free kick. Another look here. Hinojosa dragged down by Jacob Ostini. And it ends up being kind of a short corner here for El Salvador. They're trying to give themselves a little bit of more room to work with on the score sheet here. It's clipped into the middle, and it needs to be cleared definitively, and now it is. And Gomez is forced to reset back to Gutierrez. Lovely ball lifted over the top here. It's nudged down. Great pullback for Torres, and he scores! Karen Torres doubles the lead for El Salvador. It could be the goal that sees El Salvador set up a final day showdown against Jamaica and eliminate St. Lucia if they can't turn it around. Well, again, a little header forward into the depths of the penalty area, and Torres actually miscontrolled it before recovering in time. Great work by Espinoza. Poor touch by Torres, but my goodness, does he make up for it with a fantastic finish. And El Salvador do have a bit of a cushion now. 2-0 is the score. And that'll lead to a change for St. Lucia. Abdul Karim Aman is coming in. And that is the first St. Lucia change of the night. And El Salvador now are in a little bit better and more comfortable shape here. Still early stages of the second half. Huge goal from Torres. Give them a bit more breathing space. There was a foul here. Louis is trying to get around the challenge from the substitute Ramirez. Again, a reason why that goal was so big. We talked about it. El Salvador now closer to setting up that winner go home game against Jamaica this weekend. The other side of it, St. Lucia get pushed further towards the exit doors here. And that's because now, instead of having to score 2, they have to score 3 goals in the second half. And, well, they've only scored once all tournament to this point in it. Not impossible, but the task just got a little bit more difficult for St. Lucia, and they only have, well, now we're ticking down here, about 35 minutes to save it. We have seen a couple of comebacks at this tournament, but St. Lucia here a little bit stretched at the back. Espinoza And still, Espinoza fighting his way in, now doubled, and will settle for a throw-in. Gutierrez. Ooh, and a quick foul call there. Ends the sequence. Well, Duveau will take. We can tell you that the Panama-Aruba game has gone final. Panama win it by 3-0. And that means that Aruba are out. The Canalmen on home soil will get a chance to clinch a berth to the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in their next match. Player down here is Espinoza for El Salvador. Another look. Ooh, he slipped a couple of times. And maybe, well, I thought it was maybe an extension, an overextension, but he was actually clutching his face at the end of that. And St. Lucia just trying to move it up the other end quickly, but Cornejo lets it slide all the way through. He'll take control of the possession. Well, chance to thread the needle here. Great ball in behind. Tobar drags it wide. Well, that really would have put El Salvador in charge here. You can see the pass was on. Torres threads the needle. And Tobar, well, he drags it. Approaching the hour mark here. Can St. Lucia give themselves some hope? They've done a lot of things well tonight. The only thing they've been missing is clinical play in the final third. A little bit of extracurriculars there. And it's continued on into the penalty area here. A little bit of pushing and shoving, and well, it definitely hasn't boiled over, but it's simmering a bit. And from the set piece, it's nudged ahead and cleared. But can St. Lucia recycle it quickly? Be a chance here to cross this. Aman wins a corner in the end. I was going to say, who was it last off of? Aman, the substitute, does well, gives a little bit of a jolt to his team. And a corner for St. Lucia, who are in dire need of a goal here. Need to start the comeback attempt. Alex Duveau to take. And again, a little bit of extracurriculars here. Both teams, it seems, need to take a deep breath here. And there was another coming together as the ball came in. Goalkeeper overcommits initially, but Cornejo gets back on top of it before a real shot could come in. Well, got a little frantic inside the penalty area there. Another heavy tackle and collision. Free kick for El Salvador with just under 30 minutes to go. Here was the corner up the other end. Cornejo actually completely missed it. There was a brief chance there. Moril got a boot to it, and then it's 15 on 15 here. Espinoza bumped into by Montoot. My goodness. Well, you're gonna maybe see some more desperation here from St. Lucia down the stretch. They can see the writing on the wall here. About to exit potentially and get eliminated tonight if they can't turn this around. El Salvador will feel that one more goal would see them seal the points, then they may have a chance to shoot for that goal differential tally. It's Perla to take, and Perla will shoot, and it's a bit of a wasteful effort. Germe has no trouble with it. I wonder if Marco Masucci and Juan Serrano, I wonder if they shake their heads sometimes at some of these decision-making on set pieces, and I'm sure they're not the only ones. We've seen that from many teams throughout the tournament. I get it that players out there want to have the confidence and they want to take on those long-distance shots that, you know, maybe show up in the highlights later, but 9 times out of 10, it ends up the way we just saw it with an easy catch for the goalkeeper. These goalkeepers are at a high level. They're not going to get caught out by those kinds of low percentage efforts. Well, meanwhile, the ball nearly bounced in behind here. St. Lucia again clear it. They're back on the back foot. Ball threaded through to the far side. Cross is blocked. Out for a corner. Hinojosa to take. Corner is looped in. Oh, handball appeals come in. And then it's still up for grabs, and the shot is into the side netting from Luis Tobar, who could have had a hat trick. Another look, was this handled? Oh, it did come off an arm. But I don't think the arm was in an unnatural position. I mean, that's always where the interpretation gets a little fuzzy. I think in the end, it would have been a little bit harsh to give that as a penalty. Torres. Well, it goes out of play, goes back to St. Lucia. Another heavy collision there. Poked through for Espinoza. go to El Salvador on the near side. And we're ticking down on the final 25 minutes here. It's going to happen for St. Lucia. It's going to have to happen sooner rather than later. A flag goes up there. And we're told Honduras have scored again. They lead 4-0 over Bonaire. Still 4-0 to the U.S. in the other live game going on as well. Though it looks like they got off to a little bit of a late start to the second half. Ball in behind here, touched away from Tobar. Picked up by Espinoza. Threaded through for Torres. Torres just hits it off a defender, and St. Lucia say thank you very much. They're going to get it out of that corner. And the player is down for El Salvador, away from the play, and that'll lead to a stoppage. Oh, and a yellow card came out in the middle of all of that. Torres is the one that looks to be frustrated the most. It might have been shown to him. We'll get confirmation on that. We did not get to see who it was presented to initially, but Torres's reaction, I should say, would lead you to believe that he was booked. The challenge came in from Espinoza. Torres in the background there, and Espinoza then hits the deck. He's the one who's injured. And we'll try to get that yellow card cleared up as Espinoza looks to get some medical attention here. Both teams still doing very well substitution-wise. Still 4 remaining for both sides here, so we could see some alterations down the stretch. Tough to see Espinoza carried off like that, though, I must say. Now Espinoza is ready to come back on. That was what the shouting was about. Dangerous header backwards there. Cornejo is able to come up with it. A couple more goals have gone in the other games. It's now 5-0 to Honduras, who are cruising towards a showdown with Puerto Rico on Saturday. And the U.S. have scored their first goal of the second half. They lead St. Kitts and Nevis by 5-0. Yellow card confirmed for Torres. And if the U.S. see that out, they'll face Cuba with a place in the Under-17 Men's FIFA World Cup up for grabs. Saturday and Sunday is when we'll have all the group finales, but still have a huge match day tomorrow to get through before we get to that. Well, both teams have a lot of reinforcements. Here comes some of them here. Mason Barrias getting set to come on for El Salvador. Gervage Edward is getting set to check in alongside Adriano Auguste for St. Lucia. Edward, he's going to come on for Montoots. That's the first change. Justice Germain is the other player that will come out. Auguste into the field of play with 20 minutes to go. Arias is going to come in for Steven Espinoza. Tried to give it a go, but Serrano and his coaching staff clearly do not want to take any chances with a big date with Jamaica coming up on the weekend, where everything will be decided. It's into the penalty area. It's a good first touch to just control it on the edge. It's a lovely run here, and then it's a really good tackle and challenge at the back end to make sure that no cross would come to pass. Ooh, there was the tackle that Flores put in, and that's why he was booked. Good job by our camera crew getting the shots of that and going back to confirm why the referee thought it was necessary to pull out the yellow card. A good tussle for it here. St. Lucia are able to clear it, and they're down to 19 minutes left. They have to score 3 goals if they're going to stay alive for one more match day. On near side, Byron trying to play it square, and it is cleared away. And it could be a chance for Tobar to lead the break for El Salvador. Tobar's being harried quite a bit. Referee lets it go for now. And Tobar is dispossessed. And then an early ball flared down this near side. Byron giving chase. And he does get away from one challenge. Oh, and he was brought down just outside, I think, of the penalty area. And here comes another yellow. Yellow is given to Jefferson Perla. Well, this was very close to being inside the penalty area. Again, we get the luxury of a second look here. It was outside of the 18-yard box. Good spot by our referee there. Perla booked. And El Salvador will get a chance with a set piece here as they search for a goal that would essentially seal the points and would confirm St. Lucia's elimination. 3 is tough enough, 4 needed. And now we're starting to talk about a miracle scenario. Oh, can St. Lucia get back into this? That's the big question right now. Salvador want to kill this off. But can St. Lucia give themselves a glimmer of hope? Oh, it was fizzed right in there. Cornejo parries it out of harm's way. And then a flag wiggle there. That's going to be a free kick. And El Salvador are not out of the woods yet. Challenge from Gutierrez. He extended the arm. And St. Lucia will get another try at it here. Edward to take. Again, it's headed to the outskirts of the penalty area. It was a good ball in, but El Salvador have the answer. St. Lucia have a third try at it, but this time they're dispossessed, and a free kick will alleviate the pressure. Torres doing the grunt work there. Another goal has gone in, not from the U.S. You may have thought, oh, here comes another American goal update, but Honduras have scored again. Flores have a 6-0 lead, and well, here in Guatemala City, it is St. Lucia who are the ones that need goals right now. Salvador would love to get a couple more. I will say that that is going to be a factor in that game against Jamaica. If El Salvador don't get a couple more, Jamaica will have the tiebreaker advantage, so a draw would be enough for them to go through. That'll be part of what El Salvador will be battling for in these final 15 minutes. Get themselves a better position as far as goal differential and give them an extra avenue to win the group. Louis on the back track. Great hustle shown during that passage of play by St. Lucia, but again, can they turn any of this currency into goals? They have to cash in. And El Salvador just keeps stopping them when they need to. Torres looping it over the top, and Guilherme is there. Another chance here for El Salvador with Torres trying to make some headway, and he's pushed over. Free kick after Duveau just lost his patience there. Another look. One too many shoves there. Again, and remember, there's another 8-game slate tomorrow. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the games kick off, as a St. Lucia player needs some stretching here. Nicaragua and Dominica is the first game of the day. Curacao, Canada. After that, Barbados against Mexico. That's a big game. Both teams still very much alive there. St. Martin against Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to have to win that game. Keep pace in their group. Antigua and Barbuda against Haiti. Turks and Caicos against Bermuda. Guyana against Costa Rica in the nightcap, along with St. Vincent and the Grenadines against Guatemala. All of that is coming up tomorrow. And while we have the stoppage here, maybe one last opportunity for the coaches to get a really good message across for the final 12 minutes. And El Salvador would be second in the group going into the final match day if it holds like this, and St. Lucia would be eliminated from contention. They need to score 3 goals. El Salvador need 2 goals to have the tiebreaker over Jamaica going into that final winner-take-all game this weekend in Group H. From the free kick, and it's headed clear. Only as far as Gomez follows up, is able to get it to Barrias. But he's not able to make any headway, and he's able to force it into the corner. El Salvador are fine with that, but it's a goal kick. Nice switch of play to find Torres. Into the final 10 minutes here, plus stoppage time. And again, Torres nowhere to go. And then the cross from Barrias is going to go out for another corner. As El Salvador try to negotiate these last 9 and change minutes. It does feel like this has been a little bit of a stop-start kind of game. Had moments of tension. We've had a few end-to-end moments as well, and then moments of more control and defensive dominance in this game. Hinojosa with the corner. And the header rainbows over the top from Luis Tobar. That's one back by St. Lucia. And then it's wasteful from St. Lucia. Way out of play. And they need much more quality than that if they're going to turn this around. It's almost as if the U.S. and Honduras are keeping tabs on each other. The U.S. scored again to make it 6-0, and then Honduras said, how about we add another 7-0 against Bonaire. Much more defensive-oriented game in this one. And that El Salvador, for now, are still in charge of as well, and that's what matters the most. Goal differential currently at +10. Jamaica's is at +11. Also, El Salvador have not conceded a goal yet. In this tournament, it's because of extra effort blocks like that on another St. Lucia attempt. This ball is clipped in. Goalkeeper is able to secure it. Cornejo does very well, and it's a quick outlet out to the far side for Ramirez. Ramirez down the line. It's a throw-in. Possible injury here is going to bring the play to a halt. Looks like it's another substitute, Mason Barrias, who was trying to link up with Ramirez there. Maybe got the wind knocked out of him, fell a bit awkwardly onto his back. Well, for now, he looks to be okay. St. Lucia have 2 changes remaining as the header goes wide. El Salvador have 3 left. They want to rest a few players down the stretch. And I have to say, as much as St. Lucia's hopes are starting to slip away here, El Salvador are running a bit low on time here if they're going to eclipse Jamaica's goal differential. Next tiebreaker after goal difference. This one floats out of play over Cornejo's head. It was off target. The next tiebreaker after goal differential is total goals scored. So if Honduras were to, I beg your pardon, if El Salvador were to score again, it would be up to 11 total goals. But the problem there is that the goal differential for Jamaica would still be the same, and Jamaica have scored 13 goals to this point, so Jamaica have that extra tiebreaker in there as well. And speaking of Honduras, they've scored another 8-0. It's the score line there. Honduras are not messing around tonight. 5 minutes left here in Guatemala. El Salvador up by 2-0 in search of a goal that would put this to bed. And they'll get a throw in deep in the St. Lucia end. And that'll cue a change here. Esteban Hernandez is getting set to come on for El Salvador for the final moments. And part of it might be because there is a player down. I think that is Torres, who is in some discomfort. Never a good sign to see the stretcher needed here. Torres is okay. He's obviously played a big role in tonight's game, scored the second goal that's allowed El Salvador to have a little bit more breathing space in this second half. Well, Hernandez comes in for Torres. That is official. The ball actually just about stayed in play somehow, or did it? Well, the second attempt did not. Goes back out for a throw-in. Game running a bit low on time now. Final 3 minutes, and El Salvador are getting their final 2 changes prepared of the night. Can El Salvador slam the door shut? We'll get a throw-in. And the referee will be redirected to the near touchline for these 2 changes. Talked about Hernandez coming on. That's now confirmed for Torres. And Anderson Castillo is going to come on. And the captain, Rafael Hinojosa, is going to be relieved of his duties for the night. And Jefferson Perla will get the captain's armband for the remainder. Good hand for the El Salvadorian captain. He deserves it. Really is the backbone of this team and gets a well-deserved round of applause as his night ends here in the 89th minute. Flag goes up. Another hopeful ball played up ahead. That's been the issue tonight for St. Lucia, and they have not been able to address it. They have so many promising moves and some build-up play where you go, oh man, they're going to create something here and possibly score, and then they're just not able to pick out that final pass and get the finishing required. It's let them down tonight in a game where they had to score 3 goals. Now they're going to have to wait with bated breath to see how much stoppage time there is remaining. And again, El Salvador, they want to push for top spot in the group going into the weekend. They're running low on time, and they still need to score twice. Another long-range effort. And much like the rest of them tonight, they go flying well out of play. And we will have an additional 4 minutes to be tacked on at the very end. So there's still time for either El Salvador to improve their place in the group or for St. Lucia to make a late bursting run at a result here. Ooh, that ball's touched up ahead, and the goalkeeper has a miscued clearance. It hit off of one of the El Salvadorian attacking players, and it's not cleared yet. Ramirez tried to squeeze it through, and Guerme sees it go out of play. Another close call there. Ricocheted off of Barrias, and it was an awkward clearance. Good job by Brandon Ramirez. Didn't give up on it, but the angle was against him. He was into the side netting with 3 minutes left of stoppage time. Good ball down the line here. Tobar. And Tobar is beaten cleanly. Recycled by Hernandez. Well, is someone going to have the final word here on the night in Guatemala City? Well, good control again. Esteban Hernandez trying to weave his way through. And he is fouled with 2 minutes left. And to add insult to injury, a yellow card comes out. I think that might have been Morrill, the captain, who was punished for that challenge. And yes, it was. He definitely followed through. He's booked for his troubles. We are getting to that last chance stage here. El Salvador would have to score this and then another to have the tiebreaker advantage over Jamaica. So this pretty much has to go in if El Salvador are going to finish the night on top of Group H. And it was a really good strike as far as the pace on it. Jefferson Perla pulls it well wide. Meanwhile, in the other game going on right now, the U.S. have scored again. It's 7-0 over St. Kitts and Nevis. Honduras currently up 8-0. So those two teams closing in on group stage victories for a second time. Well, foul against Luis Tobar, and that will likely be that. There probably is not enough time for El Salvador now. And for about, well, 30 minutes or so, it's felt like curtains for St. Lucia. They just have not been able to be sharp enough in the attacking third. They've really shown well, though, it has to be said. They've given Jamaica a really tough test, and they gave El Salvador a tough battle tonight. But El Salvador come out with the 2-0 victory. And unfortunately, that means the end of St. Lucia's time in contention at the Concacaf men's Under-17 qualifiers. They're eliminated with this loss tonight. El Salvador are second in the group, but more importantly, they win this game by 2-0 and set up a weekend showdown, a winner-take-all against Jamaica for a spot at the FIFA Men's Under-17 World Cup. Goals in the end came from Luis Tobar off the big ricochet and from Karin Torres as well. And boy, multiple players lied out on the ground. It was a really hard-fought game, defensive battle for a vast majority of it. Again, it just came down to who could keep their poise in the penalty area. El Salvador did so on 2 occasions, and St. Lucia looked back at missed opportunities in the end, despite some really impressive defensive showing throughout this tournament. They kept 2 very high-powered attacks at bay, but they did not have enough attacking prowess themselves. And along with the Cayman Islands from earlier, those 2 teams in this Group H are now eliminated, and all eyes will be on this weekend, where we'll see El Salvador and Jamaica clash. H crown up for grabs. Well, before we wrap things up tonight, a chance to recap our game here with the full-time match highlights. And again, this was a very physical game, sort of bring your lunch pail to work day sort of game as this developed on. Nothing came easy for either side, although I have to make a slight amendment to that, as you'll see some El Salvadorian chances, some St. Lucia attempts from early on in the match. The El Salvador opening goal, a slight amendment there because of a huge ricochet that saw the ball go into the back of the net. But Torres, Hernandez and company creating early chances, giving El Salvador that early momentum. But then Luis Tobar getting in good position here, gets the shot away, but it ricochets off a defender, and there was nothing Adi Guerme could do about it. He'd already committed too far to the right, couldn't dive back to his left quickly enough, and it trickled in for Tobar, his third goal of the tournament, to give El Salvador a priceless lead, which they would take into the halftime interval. And that's despite some good chances from St. Lucia, the likes of Kai Russell and others really trying to test the El Salvadorian goalkeeper. It just, again, didn't materialize for them, and that added more pressure going into the second half. And, well, there were more chances. Siobhan Byron really was the pace setter for St. Lucia in the second half, and off a ricochet here, Cornejo really fielded his position well tonight, came up with the stop. And then another chance here off a cross into the middle. Not the best of touches initially, but what a finish on the second attempt. Karin Torres making it 2-0 in the early stages of the second half, and that proved to be the killer goal. A lot of momentum sort of left the St. Lucia sails after that goal went in, and it became a lot more physical, more half chances than anything else. There was a brief opportunity there for Muriel, couldn't get anything on it. Bit of an awkward moment for Guerme. Great recovery by the St. Lucian back line, and then a brief chance for Ramirez here, angle against him, and he would hit it into the side netting. And again, chances were more few and far between in the second half. El Salvador taking advantage of their big opportunities leads them to the victory. And again, before we leave you, an updated Group H table, and by that one extra goal, Jamaica have the tiebreaker going into the Group H finale this weekend. The winner of that game goes through, and Jamaica have the opportunity through a draw in their back pocket to also advance to the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Confirmation as well that the Cayman Islands and St. Lucia are eliminated. That'll do it for our coverage today at the Concacaf Men's Under-17 Qualifiers. For our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. We say so long from Guatemala City. Join us again tomorrow for another 8-game slate. And until then, we say good night from Guatemala.